Before I get to Kate Gate, and sadly I do have to ask you about Kate Gate, let's have a look at the rise of the right across Europe. We've talked previously about the rise of right-wing parties and leaders from Sweden to Hungary to the Netherlands and now Portugal. With the right there, or the far right if you prefer, has come roaring back at Sunday's election. The far right is once again set to play a major role in the country's political future. That's the headline. The national elections were won by the centre-right Democratic Alliance coalition, Douglas, but it is the performance of the anti-immigration conservative Chega party that is alarming the establishment. You look at their rise, it's quite astonishing. They're now Portugal's third largest political force. They were only getting 1.3% of the vote back in 2019. Now they're up around 20%.
Yes, I mean, I think this is a familiar pattern, which you and I have looked at before, Rita. I mean, it's a familiar pattern, isn't it? If you don't address the issues that are very close to people's hearts, very close to their wallets, their pockets, their neighborhoods, if you don't address them, somebody will. And some of the parties that come along to do this are more or less palatable to me or to you, to many other people, but they will come along, of course. And this is just the latest example. Portugal, actually, it's very interesting. I haven't been there for a few years, but when I was last there, I noted that although Portugal gets quite a lot of people coming through it through illegal migration routes, a lot more leave to go north than in certain other countries in Europe. Britain, for instance, people tend to stay. So it has its own challenges, but even those challenges it faces, which are less than some of the Northern European countries and are far less than, for instance, America at the moment, they themselves are revolting against this system. And I would just, as always, beg the political class to listen to that and to take it seriously and not to denounce it and not to dismiss every critic and every voter as far right because they have a concern which frankly 10, 20, or 20 years ago was a concern that left-wing politicians uttered before the ballot, which centrist politicians uttered at the ballot, which Barack Obama said and Bill Clinton said in America. People have pathologized what used to be perfectly mainstream views and tried to make them all far right in recent years. And it's to the enormous detriment, actually, of the centrist parties.